Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We're at Canoecopia in Madison, Wisconsin at the Alliant Energy Center, and I'm Jesse Hieb, I'm your host. I'm going to be here all weekend long. Now, this afternoon I wanted to introduce you guys to a really special brand. It's called Wenonah Canoes. Wenonah is here all weekend long. They've got some amazing canoes, and we've got Bill, the VP of Wenonah Canoes, here with us. He's going to explain what we've got in front of us. So yeah, Bill, explain this. What are we looking at?
Thank you, Jesse. What we're looking at here is some of the first T-Formex canoes in the world. As canoers would know, about 3.5 years ago, the former product called royalex was discontinued by a company called Poly One for financial reasons. And the industry went without anything in this category. And this is the category of choice for whitewater, for durability, for leaving under your cabin deck, for dragging down to the shore. It's a great canoe with very little concern about damage or upkeep. So when it disappeared, the industry was without. And Jacques Chasset of Esquif Canoes made it his life's mission to come up with a royalex replacement. And about last summer, Jacques started sharing with me samples of this material that would ultimately become commercial, and they became commercial late this fall and this winter. So what we're standing over here is one of the very first Wenonah canoes made in T-Formex in the world.
Okay, so just to understand, because actually I do remember that happening a couple of years ago when royalex just disappeared, and everyone was like, "What are we going to do? Where are we going to get our kayak or canoes or kayaks or whatever?" I remember that, and so what you're saying is, last season you didn't have this. Like, this is a new thing for people. Like,
we've been without for more than 2 seasons.
Dang.
Now, there's been some residual inventory in retailers' warehouses, some residual inventory scattered around the world, but largely it's been extinct.
Nice.
So this is really the public debut. We've showed it at business-to-business trade shows, knowing it was coming, but now it's actually commercialized.
This is really exciting. So is this the first public, you said this is the first open to the public expo that the general public will get to see this and get to pick it up?
That's right here at Canoecopia, starting tomorrow at the Alliant Energy Center here in Madison.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so show me you've got a couple of samples for us.
Right.
Explain that to me.
So T-Formex really is a mimic of what royalex was. So Jacques' approach was to initially, let's replicate royalex, and it's a very tricky process and a very cost intensive process. There's some heavy equipment that's needed, and so he's got a baseline now. So we can make improvements on T-Formex and make it better than royalex was. But right now, this is really a royalex mimic, and that's how I'm going to sell it this weekend, and how I've sold it in the business-to-business trades. And you can see it's a sandwich product. Yeah,
can I show that a little bit closer?
Sure,
Is that all right?
You bet.
Yeah, so we got a little sandwich action going there.
So there's an outer skin with color. There's a substrate underneath the color layer. Then we have the foam layer in the middle, and this foam is unexpanded at this time. This foam will be expanded when we run the product through the oven. And then we have the inner substrate and the inner color layer, which is tan. So the processing of a royalex sheet, it comes as a flat sheet, involves putting it in an oven. Looks like a very large pizza oven. We cook it at about 290 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The foam layer blows up. It expands, which gives us buoyancy in the canoe. It also gives us a closed cell foam, which gives rigidity and stiffness.
Interesting.
And then we take that hot sheet out of the oven into our molding operation, vacuum and hydraulic ram form the canoe. So the shell of this canoe is manufactured in about 90 seconds, and then from out of the oven, then we just let it cool. It becomes stiff like you see here, and then it gets outfitted and finished.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a really cool product.
I feel like we might have to come to the factory.
You sure can. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you at the factory. Absolutely.
And you're in Minnesota, right? I mean, that's
in Wenonah, Minnesota. We're 3 hours down I-90.
We can handle that. Yeah, that's a day trip for us.
It is.
All right, show me. We talked about paddles. Wenonah's actually got some really incredible paddles as well. So what do you got for us?
So Wenonah Canoes has been around for 50 years. We're celebrating our 50th anniversary. And one of the foundations of the brand is Mike Chickanowski's passion for canoeing and the desire to create the best product, the most efficient product, and the most lightweight product possible to allow you to travel the furthest distance each day. And along the way, the world discovered bent shaft paddles, but we've also discovered how to make paddles years not too distant ago out of carbon fiber. So what we have here is what I would call my everyday paddle. This is what, if I was paddling tonight after work, this is what I'd be using. It's approximately 12 ounces, super, super light, and super durable. There's a video on our Facebook page of myself and Dana Henry using these as pry bars on ice, paddling over ice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're super durable. People don't appreciate how strong and how robust these actually are. But the reason we like them is because if we're going tripping, this isn't a racing paddle. If we're going tripping, we're going to do a cadence of, let's say we do 50 strokes a minute. And we go for an hour, so that's 300 strokes.
Okay.
We go for 5 hours, that's 1,500 strokes.
Yeah, yeah.
This paddle weighs, it sounds like a lot of work. If your normal paddle is 20 ounces, that's 1,500 strokes times half a pound. You do the math, it's about 750 less pounds that I have to pick up over the course of the day. I can still pick up the canoe, I can still pick up a cold beverage at the end of the day. If you translate this into a more aggressive boundary waters trip, it can actually go well in excess of 3,000 pounds of excess weight not lifted.
That's crazy.
So these are our everyday paddler. They're an everyday tool.
Dang, that is amazing. Yeah, if you're picking up anything, I feel like it should be this after the boat. Or both.
Absolutely.
Pick up both.
Absolutely. These are the tires for your boat. If you're buying a Wenonah canoe, we like to think, you're buying a high-end automobile. You're not going to go to a discount tire outlet to buy tires for your high-end sports car at $89 a tire or $69 a tire. You're going to put good rubber on.
Yeah.
So don't cheat yourself on the paddle.
Yeah. You're buying a Cadillac for a boat, right? Like,
right.
Get the right tires for it.
This is going to make your life so much more enjoyable and so much more fun because you're not lifting a heavy chunk of wood.
Sure, sure. That's great. Well, Bill, thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you. Guys, so that was Wenonah Canoes. They're going to be here all weekend. Like you saw, this is the debut of this awesome new material. Your
T-Formex.
T-Formex. Awesome stuff. Come down, check it out. Say hello to everyone here at Wenonah, and stay tuned. Make sure you're following Canoecopia because we're going to be doing these live videos all weekend long, and you don't want to miss it. So thanks so much, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.